Let's turn in our Bibles to just a couple passages. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 18. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 18. And then 2 Kings chapter number 6. I'm going to be very brief, and then I'm going to have some of our student leaders come and just share a quick testimony. We had our World Mission Conference, as you know, and I think God blessed in a wonderful way. And last Friday, immediately after that, we had planned to have a chapel where we had a guest in, and we emphasized our work through the Crown School of Trades and Technology, because we had a big event Saturday emphasizing that. And so I want to take a moment today in chapel just to talk about what God did in our hearts in this mission conference. Proverbs 29:18. I think you found it by now. Let's read it out loud together. Ready? Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Now, where does vision come from? Somewhere in your notes or in your margin there, write this down. Vision comes from God. It is God who gives vision. Vision is not a big idea. Well, I got a big idea, something I want to do for God. That's not vision, okay? That's a big idea, is what that is. Vision is not ambition. Well, I'll tell you one thing, I want to do something in my life. I really want to get something done, and I've got these goals. And vision is not ambition. You know what that is? That's just plain old ambition. You can have ambition and not even be saved. You can have a big idea to do something spectacular and not even be a Christian. You could be an atheist and have a big idea. So a vision is definitely not just a big idea or an ambition that we want to see accomplished. What are we talking about here? In the Bible, vision has to do with what we receive from God. It is seeing God and seeing God's Word in the way that it ought to be seen. And God is the one who opens our eyes and gives us vision, clarity. He gives us sort of just a very lucid picture of how things are and of who He is and of what we're supposed to be doing. And now it's just like the fog rolling away or the clouds blowing out. Now it's clear. Now it's understandable. Now it's connected. And I see now who God is and what He wants, and I see how I'm supposed to respond to that. Now, frankly, when we go through a world mission conference like we just went through, that's what we're praying will happen in the meeting. Somebody says, what makes it a success? If you have 10 people surrender to missions, is that a success? Or if you have, 100 people commit to give to missions, is that a successful conference? And, all those things would be good and great, but that does not measure the success of a mission conference. You really cannot put a measuring rod on it except for this. How many people had their vision clarified and their vision enlarged by God? And that you can't really quantify. That's something that happens on the inside. But what we do know is this. If we don't have vision from God, if God doesn't help us to see clearly who He is and what He wants done in this world, we do know this. The people are going to perish. We know we need vision. We should be asking God for vision. We should be saying to the Lord, Lord, help me to see this. Help me to see You. Help me to understand Your heart. Make it clear. Make it simple. Roll the clouds away. Dispel the fogginess. May it not be complex in my mind and heart. And Lord, just give me vision and make this very clear. I want to be yielded. I want to do my part. I want to be in Your will. And when God gives vision, isn't it a great thing? I had you hold your turn there, and then I had you turn to 2 Kings 6. I want you to turn to 2 Kings 6, and I want to come to a passage. Brother Jeff alluded to this in illustration last night, but I want to bring you to a prayer here. In verse 13, we have the army of Ben-Hadad, a Syrian army, trying to find Elisha to kill him. And it says in verse 13, and he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore he sent thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Question: were all those horses and chariots of fire there when the man was fretting, the servant was fretting and worried? Were they already there? Yes or no? What do you think, class? What do you think? I think they were already there. God was already present. Look, God was already working in that place. Elisha could see it. His servant couldn't see it. He needed vision. And now he prays for God to touch the servant in this way: Lord, open his eyes. And God heard that prayer, and the eyes of this man were open, and now he can see that God is here and God's at work. And you know what? Maybe that's what God has done in your heart and in our hearts really as a college. Maybe that's what he did during the mission conference. Maybe he helped us to see, I am in this world, I am present, and I am working. You just haven't been seeing it. You just need vision. You need to be able to see that God is working and God's doing something. And you know what? God's doing something all over this world. We heard about Nepal. We heard about the New York City area. We heard about Italy, of all places. We heard about Japan. We heard about Ireland. We heard about college and university campuses, really all across America and around the world. We heard about so many things last week. And the point, Mongolia, of all places. But every place, God was opening our eyes and saying, you know what, I've been working there. You've never even been there. You've never even thought about that place. But I've been there, and I've been working. And my word's going forth. And the beginning of anything in our hearts is for God first, just to give us clarity, to help us to see that He is present and He wants to do a great work. And what we're going to do is we're going to challenge you in this chapel hour today to make a decision and to determine that you're going to get involved in what God's doing. And we're going to specifically challenge you about signing up and becoming what we call a New Testament church pioneer. You don't have to wear a special hat or a special jacket, okay, or a special tie, guys, or anything like that. Girls, you don't have to do your hair a certain way like you're in the pioneer days or anything, all right? But what is a pioneer? A pioneer says, I'm looking ahead. When the pioneers went west in America, they said, I think this would be a wonderful place to live, to establish my family. I think for generation after generation after generation, if I go there, if I pay the price, if I claim the land, if I start farming that land and seeing what can happen on that land, I may not see all the results, but I believe that something great can happen there. That's what the pioneers did. And what we're trying to say is in God's work, we need people who will just move forward, plow up some ground, go to some areas where it's truly needy, but somebody believes, somebody sees with vision, God could do a great work there. He's already there, He's working, and we want to just get in on it. And we're going to challenge you to be a New Testament pioneer. Some of you want to do that for all of next summer. That'd be great. Some of you say, well, for a certain portion of next summer, I want to join in on a team that's getting a specific job done or a specific project with a church planter or on a university campus or something like that. And I want to help on that team. I want to take out some part of my life and just say, I'm going to dedicate myself for that week or those 2 weeks or maybe for 10 weeks. And I'm going to do that. But I want to challenge you to do it. You say, how will the needs be met? Hey, God has always provided. When people step forward by faith, God's always met the need. We've sent out New Testament church pioneers every summer for years. And they come back having trusted God and having believed God and having seen God do a great work. And they're so much stronger in the Lord because of it. And now they've trusted God. And the needs they face now, they're not worried about them because they know God met every need before. He's going to keep meeting my needs. What a great way to serve the Lord.